Okay, so this is a 2022 F-250 Super Duty trimmer. We just put the TUWA MOAB Pro bed rack on last week, and I installed on top of that a BAK Revolver X4S, and there's no modification to it at all. It's on there with the rack, and as you can see, it sits pretty flush. Everything functions exactly the way it's supposed to. Again, this is with no modifications to either. It rolls all the way up. It does begin to just barely touch right there, but it's nothing serious at all. Rolls all the way up to the front. The tie-down straps, everything functions. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this rack off. I'm going to take the the BAK Revolver X4S off, and I'm going to take the rack off. I'm going to take the rubber padding out from under the TUWA and see if I can get it to sit just a little bit lower. All right, before I pull everything apart, I just wanted to show you how well that this system, they go together. So this is part of the BAK, this is the TUWA, and this is the BAK. Now what it states when installing the BAK is that you get this as close to the bulkhead as possible, and that's as close as you can get. And then here's the the tie down, which also functions as a clamp as well. And that's as close as you can get there, but there's still even room left over, but there's plenty of room to get it latched down. So I'll see you when I pull this thing apart. Oh, also I'm going to add some weather stripping under here. That's really another main reason for taking it apart and putting it back together, is just to get a little bit of weather stripping under this part right here. Okay, so we've got both pieces off. I just went ahead and took them off, completely assembled, and the whole object of that is to get this rubber off. So that'll let it sit just a little bit lower, and in turn let the BAK Revolver sit a little bit lower too. Okay, so this tape came with the BAK Revolver X4S, and it's for if you have a plastic bed liner. I have the spray-in bed liner, so I used the thicker seal for the bulkhead. I imagine if you had a plastic one, then you could just use this for the bulkhead seal and then use the thicker one for what I'm about to do. So as you can see here, this is the part that lays on the bed rail. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the bed rail just to kind of take up what little bit of space is there. But ultimately this, you cannot see daylight into the bed rail, into the bed with the Revolver X4S on there on top of the TUWA the way it was. Now, we went ahead and removed the rack, took the rubber off the bottom, so it's sitting, maybe a couple millimeters lower. I'm not even sure if that was necessary, but we'll find out once we put this on. Okay, so what I ended up doing was actually splitting that. It came in two sections and it stuck out a little bit too far. So I ended up just splitting it and using one strip. So what that'll do is when this comes in and seats right here, it'll get a nice water seal. People hot rodding tonight. A nice water seal from the elements is the idea. It's sitting directly on the bed rails now, and we put the weather stripping that came with the BAK Revolver for extra bulkhead for a plastic bed liner. We put one strip of that right in here, and as you can see, compared to that first video, it does sit much lower. So I think it looks good. So you can see inside here the functions. Functions the way it's supposed to. I mean, it is up a little bit right here, but you know, it's gonna keep your stuff dry from normal rain, I would think. So it does start to pinch in a little bit right here, but nothing that's going to tear it apart. The ironic thing is it actually, with the rubber under here, it actually didn't have any problem rolling up at all. Once we lowered this, I think what happened, I mean, I know what happened, and we're talking millimeters here, is it brought this in a little bit closer, and therefore you're just going to have to be a little bit careful pulling it up. But as you can see, the straps still work, and everything works. Everything mates together perfectly, along with the MOAB and the back. So I'm happy with both of them. Real happy with TUWA, and so far this BAK Revolver seems really nice. I think it looks really good, and I think it's going to do exactly what we need it to do, and that's to, I mean, it's not Fort Knox, you know, but it's going to keep our stuff dry when we go camping with our travel trailer back there, and it's going to keep it relatively secure, and that's all we really want. So, success. Last thing I want to point out, although this does seem to stick up a little bit, you'll notice that there is a nice thick piece of weather stripping right there. That does make a seal.